Hi, with a great thought by John Adams regarding education. That is, there are two educations. One should teach us how to make a living, and the other how to live. With these golden words, we'll work out one of the problem in curved beam. And the statement of this particular problem is as follows. The parallel sides of the trapezoidal cross section of a crane hook of capacity 50 kilonewton are 100 mm and 60 mm. The depth of section being 120 mm. The radius of curvature of the inner fiber is 150 mm. Determine the normal stresses at the extreme fibers of the cross section. This is about the given problem. Now, we'll list out the given data from this particular given problem. Since in the problem the sketch has not given, so a rough sketch we have drawn here. The parallel sides of trapezoidal cross section of a crane hook of capacity 50 kilonewton. So, crane hook capacity or load F is equal to 50 kilonewton or 50 into 10 raised to 3 Newton or 100 mm and 60 mm. So, parallel sides in that particular sketch it is clear. So, the parallel sides in that longer side and shorter side will be considered as B1 and B respectively. So, the value B1 is equal to 100 mm and B is equal to 60 mm. The depth of section being 120 mm. So, in the second sketch in that depth what he has shown 100 or 120, that we need to consider as a depth, that is equal to h, that is equal to 120 mm. The radius of curvature of inner fiber is 150 mm. Radius of curvature of inner fiber is nothing but Ri, that is Ri, that is equal to 150. And here he asked to find normal stresses at the extreme fibers of the cross section. Before that, we will list radius of curvature of the outer fiber, that is R naught, that is equal to Ri plus depth h. So, here depth is equal to 120 and Ri is equal to 150. So, we are getting R naught is equal to 270. And here asked to find normal stresses at the extreme fibers of the cross section, that is at inner fiber sigma I is equal to question mark, and at outer fiber total stress, that is sigma naught is equal to question mark. This is about the given data. Now, we will list out very much fundamental equations or formulae required to deal with this particular problem, that is normal stresses at the extreme fibers of the cross section, that is total stress at the inner fiber sigma I and total stress at the outer fiber, that is sigma naught. So, here total stress induced in the curved member at inner fiber is given by the fundamental equation. By referring the sketch what you have plotted, in that it is clear due to the tensile load of 5 kilonewton at inner fiber, direct stress will be tensile as well as the bending stress also makes tensile in this sense, that is both is going to add up. So, sigma I is equal to sigma d plus sigma b Ri, and here further unknowns are there, that is one is sigma d, that is nothing but direct stress. So, direct stress is equal to normal force, that is force by area. So, we will work out what is the equation we must use for area of the trapezium later. Now, trapezoidal, that is later. Now, bending stress at inner fiber sigma b Ri, sigma b Ri, that is equal to MCI divided by AE Ri, that is there in the page number 159, equation number 10.1b. Next, total stress induced in the curved member at the outer fiber, that is sigma naught. Sigma naught is equal to direct stress at the outer fiber is tensile, and bending stress due to this particular load, the bending stress what it is going to induce, that will be the compressive in nature. So, sigma d minus sigma b R naught. Bending stress at outer fiber sigma b R naught is sigma b R naught is equal to MC naught divided by AE R naught, that is equation number 10.1c, page number 159. Soon after getting the values sigma d, that is FYA, sigma b R naught, MCI AE divided by AE Ri, these two we need to substitute in first equation. We are getting total stress at the inner fiber. Similarly, we must substitute sigma d is equal to F by A and sigma b R naught is equal to MC naught divided by AE R naught in another equation, that is sigma naught is equal to sigma d minus sigma b R naught. We are getting the total stress at the extreme fibers. This is the overall theme of the problem. Now, we will move on to the solution. The first unknown we have to find, that is normal stress at the extreme fibers of the cross section, that is sigma I as well as sigma naught. Now, we will consider the inner fiber first, inner surface or inner fiber. Total stress induced in the inner curved member at inner fiber Ri, that is equal to direct stress, that is tensile, plus sigma d, plus bending stress is also tensile in nature. So, sigma b Ri, we will call this as equation number 1 for time being. Now, we will evaluate the individual unknowns for sigma d as well as sigma b Ri. Direct stress sigma d, that can be evaluated by using the ratio F by A, force by normal area. We will call this as equation number 2. Now, cross section area of the trapezoidal cross section, A is equal to half into h into B1 plus B, or A is equal to half into h is depth of the cross section, that is 120 mm, into B1 is equal to 100 plus B is equal to 60. These two are longer and shorter parallel sides of the trapezoidal cross section. So, by simplifying this, we are getting the value of cross section area A is equal to 9600 mm square. Now, by substituting this value in equation number 2, we will get the direct stress sigma d is equal to F by A, that is equal to 50 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 9600. So, we are getting the direct stress sigma d is equal to 5.208 Newton per mm square. After obtaining direct stress value sigma d is equal to 5.208, we will go to evaluate the another unknown required to solve in the first equation, that is sigma b Ri, bending stress at inner radius. So, for this we have the equation MCI divided by AE Ri, we will call that as equation number 3. Now, we will evaluate the individual unknowns of the equation 3 separately, like M is nothing but bending moment, Ci is nothing but radial distance between neutral axis to the inner fiber radius, Ci is equal to Rn minus Ri, and A cross section area that we already calculated. Next, E is nothing but eccentricity, it is the distance between, radial distance between radii, that is radius at centroidal axis and neutral axis. Next, Ri, that is radius at the inner fiber, that value we know. Now, we will try to evaluate the which are all the unknowns we have. In that first one, bending moment M, M is nothing but in this equation, in this particular problem, bending moment M is equal to force into perpendicular distance, that perpendicular distance is nothing but a radius R. We will call this as equation number 4. Now, to get the value radius at centroidal axis, we must refer the table 1.3a, page number 13. So, in this, by referring the figure F, we have the values B0 by 2, B0 by 2. So, B, B0 and B. So, by referring the fourth column, we will get the relation to evaluate the value of C. By referring this figure, distance C, what he has given in this sketch, that is from outer fiber the distance. So, we can frame the equation radius at centroidal axis as for this particular cross section in that position. So, R0 outer radius minus C2, C2 is nothing but here C in the equation. So, that is equal to, we can make use one more relation also, that is radius at centroidal axis, radius at inner fiber plus C2, that also we can make use. We will call that as equation number 5. And here C2 is nothing but distance to farthest point or radial distance from centroidal axis to the outer fiber, that is C2, and that particular equation C2 or C, that is equal to 3b plus 2b naught into h divided by 3 into 2b plus b naught. We will call this as equation number 6. Now, we must compare the figure F of page number 13, table 1.3a with the standard problem to get the value B naught, B and h. So, here B is equal to 60 mm and B naught is equal to 100 minus 60. So, B naught is equal to 40 mm and h is nothing but depth, that is 120 mm. Now, we will substitute this in equation number 6. We are getting C2 is equal to 3 into 60 plus 2 into 40 into h, that is 120 divided by 3 into 2b, that is 2 into 60 plus b naught, that is 40. By simplifying that, we are getting the value C2 is equal to 65 mm. Now, a radial distance between centroidal axis and inner fiber, that is denoted by C1. So, from the condition, that is C1 and C2 is nothing but the corresponding distance or respective distance with respect to the centroidal axis to the inner and outer fiber respectively, that is C1, C2. So, total depth H will be equal to C1 plus C2 and also that is Ci plus C0 also. So, here H is nothing but 120, C1 that we need to calculate, C2 just now we got that is 65. By simplifying that we are getting the value C1 is equal to 55 mm. Now, by substituting the values in equation number 5, that is to get the value R, that is equal to outer fiber radius 270 minus C2, that is radial distance from centroidal axis to the outer fiber C2, that is 65. Else we can make use of one more equation, that is Ri plus C1. Ri is nothing but 150 plus C1, that is 55. Then also we are getting the same value, that is radius at centroidal axis capital R is equal to 205. After getting the values C1, C2 as well as the centroidal axis radius, now we will substitute this value in equation number 4 to get the value bending moment M. Bending moment M is equal to force into perpendicular distance, that is nothing but radius at centroidal axis. So, we will substitute the value 50 into 10 raised to 3 into 205. We are getting the bending moment M is equal to 10.25 into 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeters. Now, we will try to evaluate the value of R suffix n, that is the radius at neutral axis, because to get the value eccentricity E, we need the value Rn as well as R. R we already have, now we must find the value of Rn. Now, from table 10.1, page number 163. So, here one of the relation is there, E is equal to R minus Rn, eccentricity R minus Rn, that is equal to R minus A divided by B1 R plus C2 minus B into R minus C1 divided by H into logarithm to base E, that is ln R plus C2 divided by R minus C1 minus B1 minus B. Now, we can go to rearrange the above equation by considering small assumptions, that is R plus C2 the dimension is equal to R0 and R minus C1 that is nothing but Ri. Then above equation is going to simplify further. So, Rn is equal to area A divided by B1 R0 minus B Ri divided by H into log to the base E R0 by Ri minus B1 minus B. Now, we will substitute the values in the relation Rn. Area A we have, that is 9600 and B1 is equal to 100, R0 is equal to 270 minus B1 is B is equal to 60 and Ri is equal to 150 mm divided by H is equal to 120 log R0 that is 270 divided by Ri that is 150 minus B1 is 100 and B is equal to 60. By simplifying that, we are getting the radius at neutral axis Rn is equal to 199.30 mm. Now, we will go to the next unknown, that is eccentricity. Eccentricity can be evaluated by using the equation E is equal to R minus Rn, that is radius at centroidal axis minus radius at neutral axis. So, R is 205 minus Rn is 199.3, we are getting the eccentricity E is equal to 5.7 mm. Now, Ci value is required. So, that is radial distance between neutral axis and inner fiber of the hook. So, Ci is nothing but Rn minus Ri. Rn value just now we got, that is 199.3 minus Ri is 150. So, Ci is equal to 49.3 mm. Now, by substituting these values in equation number 3, that is sigma b Ri is equal to m into Ci divided by Ae Ri, that is bending stress at inner fiber. So, we will substitute the value. Bending moment m is 10.25 into 10 raised to 6, Ci 49.3 divided by area A 9600 into eccentricity 5.7 into Ri radius at inner fiber, that is 150. By simplifying that, we are getting the bending stress at inner radius sigma b Ri, that is equal to 61.56 Newton per mm square. After obtaining the direct stress as well as bending stress at inner fiber, we must substitute these values in equation number 1 to get the total stress induced at the inner fiber or one of the extreme fiber, that is inner fiber. So, sigma I, that is sigma d plus sigma b Ri, sigma I is equal to sigma d value direct stress is 5.208 plus bending stress at inner radius is 61.56. Therefore, total stress at inner fiber sigma I is equal to 66.773 Newton per mm square. This is the required value of stress at inner fiber, total stress at inner fiber. After obtaining the value, a radius at inner fiber, we must go to total stress at inner radius. Now we have to go to another unknown, that is total stress induced in the curved member at the outer fiber, sigma naught. Sigma naught is equal to direct stress minus bending stress at outer fiber. We will call that as equation number 7. So sigma d value we already have, that is 5.208. Now we must find the value sigma b r naught. Sigma b r naught is equal to m into c naught divided by ae r naught. We will call that as equation number 8. So here the value of m we know, a, e, r naught, all values we know except c naught, where c naught is nothing but a radial distance between neutral axis and outer fiber of the hook. So c naught is equal to r naught minus rn. R naught is outer fiber radius, that is 270 minus rn, neutral axis radius, that is 199.3. So by solving this, we are getting the value c naught is equal to 70.7 mm. Now by substituting this value in equation number 8, we are getting sigma b r naught, that is equal to m is 10.25 into 10 to the 6 into c naught 70.7 divided by area A 9600 into eccentricity distance E 5.7 into radius at outer fiber 270. By simplifying that, we are getting the value sigma b r naught is equal to 49.05 Newton per mm square. Now by substituting the direct stress sigma d 5.208 and bending stress at outer fiber 49.05 in equation number 7, we are getting sigma naught is equal to minus 43.842 Newton per mm square. Here we must notice that here we got the value negative. In earlier case sigma I, we got the value positive. It means at the inner fiber is subjected with the tensile and outer fiber is subjected with the compression, because bending stress due to this load overtook the value of sigma d. So we got negative value. That negative indicates the total stress at outer fiber is in compressive in nature. So the required value sigma I, that is equal to 66.773 Newton per mm square tensile, and at outer fiber sigma naught is equal to 43.843 Newton per mm square in compression. With this, we came to the conclusion of this particular problem, or we have got both the unknown.